greatest thing about Olaf is that he says it how he sees it. He doesn't really have a filter.
Yeah.
And the cup is always half full. He's full of so much joy. And it's so much fun to play because seeing everything through rose-colored glasses is just so much fun. And I think we could all be a little bit more like Olaf, I think. But, you know, the complexity of having to now tell that story through a puppet and all of those things, I mean, it's been challenging, but it's been something that's so rewarding because when I run on stage, the audible gasp from the audience is quite overwhelming. And then to hear the kids just, and the whole audience just in absolute awe of this character is truly so amazing to get the chance to play. So.
He's created a character outside, so because he does it 8 times a week, when you talk sometimes Matt does this, which is what the puppet does.
So when I was learning the puppet, our puppet director Lorenzo said to me, just whenever you start talking, just articulate everything you're saying because that's what you have to do with Olaf. So when I start to talk to people, they look at my hand and I'm like, sorry, I'm just practicing. I don't have a tick or anything, but this is just how I articulate.
Don't get offended when you talk to him like, hi, question. Any awkward moments or funny moments during while you're Olaf?
Yeah, so there was an incident where Olaf's nose came off.
An incident.
There's a moment in the show where I get quite close to a lot of ensemble in one of the big production numbers, and there was a leg that flew up, and then there was the carrot nose that flew off, and it was all a bit of a thing. But that's probably the closest kind of disaster we've had when it came to the.
Did you go pick up your nose?
I had someone pick it up for me. Because all my hands are full, I can't do anything. Go pick it up.
All right, thank you. Now, Ben, Disney's Frozen is such a huge production, possibly with high expectations. And of course, Disney is known for its extravagant productions. We were talking about, Aladdin earlier, that cave scene. Oh my goodness. So in Disney's Frozen, what will we get to see in terms of the sets and the costumes? And will there be Disney magic?
Of course, there's always Disney magic. We love a bit of Disney magic. This is huge. There are 440 costumes on stage. It is crazy. Gemma's ice dress takes 3 months to make. And 2 months of those 3 months are just beading. All of this on Anna's frock here takes 100 hours to embroider. The detail in this show is incredible. There's 120 pairs of shoes that are handmade. It's crazy. 90 wigs made out of human hair. It is huge. It is really crazy. I mean, the set pieces are amazing. We are transported to Arendelle. It is fantastic. I think it's 45 tons of flying scenery in this show. Yeah, it's big. And then there's 20 tons of automation. And so it's massive. Every night the proscenium that's designed by Christopher Oram, it looks like a beautiful wooden sculpture. It is massive. There's also a lot of little hidden Mickeys and Easter eggs throughout the set, especially on the proscenium. So when you come and see that, have a look. All of the Disney musicals may be depicted within the proscenium. It takes a very close eye to see them, but they're really fabulous. But Jemma, every night without fails, freezes over this proscenium. The magic within this production is incredible. It's something else. It's really great.
You're getting me so excited. Good. Do tell. Any more Easter eggs, or what should we be looking out for?
Oh, no. Well, you may have to come and see it twice. Watch the show for the show, and then look for the Easter eggs.
Sneaky. Thank you so much. And of course, if you're sat there from Brunei, up close, did you take pictures? Did you count the beads? 14,000 was it?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, Jemma, you played Elsa a number of times. Are there still some challenges you face?
Oh, every day. I think doing 8 shows a week is very, very challenging. Just anyway, and so I think this role vocally, there's a lot of singing that I do, and it's quite complicated music, and it sort of sits in a part of my voice where I really need to understand my voice and my technique, and so I've actually really grown as a singer, understanding my voice, which is good because it's pushed me to be better, so challenged every day, but in the best possible way, because you become a better performer because of it.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, Matt, while you're getting ready for Olaf, are there any aspects of the character that you identify with the most?
Oh, look, I like to think that I've got a bit of Olaf in me in terms of what I just touched on previous, is just seeing the world through rose-colored glasses and the cup is half full, and just bringing the joy. I think we need more joy in the world. And if we should, more Olaf. Exactly. So like I like to think that you know, that's something that's in my personality as well. So that's why I think it's so easy for me to get out there and play this character, because it just sits so naturally in my personality, and I just adore him. I think he's
Is that true, Ben, Jemma?
Yes.
It
Is he a
really
glass
is.
half
Yes.
full kind of person?
Yes, he's very joyful. Look at that smile.
I've known Matt for what, 20 years?
Long time.
A long time, and that he is Olaf. Yeah, it's fabulous.
No, but you guys have such a wonderful chemistry and dynamic amongst you as well, and it's just wonderful to watch. So I can only imagine how that translates on the stage. So we're all very excited to be seeing this. Now, Ben, the story of Disney's Frozen is well loved by everyone all around the world. What are some of the things that you had to pay particular attention to when bringing such a beloved tale to the region?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is beloved, and so you've got to pay particular attention to the characters and how they're portrayed. But as Jemma mentioned earlier, we really champion people finding their own take on these characters. You know, there are things that you have to do, obviously, but you know, we want to see people's personality and see their own take on that. Because as Jemma said, a story's not told truthfully if you're not injecting some of your own personality in there, and so. It's just navigating through that has been the challenge, but it's been wonderful, and to watch these performers grow over the last 2 years into these roles, it's absolutely beautiful. Jemma is Elsa, Matt is Olaf, you know, it's so gorgeous to see, and they tell the story so beautifully in that way.
Jemma, how does it feel hearing Ben say that?
Very nice. I think that's one of the magical things about being in a show for a long amount of time as well, is that you really do grow. So you think that you're singing the same songs, you're saying the same lines, you think that it's kind of like going to be a set thing, but it never is. Like, we are constantly working on our craft, finding nuance, finding new things, and it keeps it alive, it keeps it fresh, but it keeps us growing. And then it keeps the audiences even coming back, because they're like, oh, that was so different from the first time I saw it. And, you know, and so, yeah, there's a lot more space in creativity than what people might assume with just doing the same thing every day.
So you were singing Monster earlier. What's the thought process as you're singing that song?
Monster is quite heavy.
Yeah.
So it comes in Act 2, and she has realised that she has frozen Arendelle, because when she sings Let It Go, she doesn't know this. So she is just embracing herself, she's away from everybody, she's like, I'm safe, I'm not going to hurt anyone. And when she finds out that she's actually hurting her whole world, she starts to question, why? Like, where has this come from? Am I a monster? I don't feel like one, but everyone's telling me I'm one. You know, there's a lot of questions, and she's sort of figuring out what exactly she should do. And at the end of the song, which I think is the best part about it, is that she decides, no, even though I'm not 100% sure of my power and how to control it, I'm still going to do the right thing, which is I'm going to try to bring back the sun, and I'm going to try to figure it out. And I think that's the essence of Elsa, ultimately, is that she is a very, very kind and compassionate person, and she will always do what she can and the best thing that she can, but she does not want to hurt anybody in the process.
And how do you relate to that song personally?
Oh, it's really quite powerful. All of my songs are very, very deep and reflective, and that talks about fear. Like, she's talking about fear a lot, and I'm you know, like everybody, we're fearful creatures. We're scared of doing things that are new, or we question ourselves if we're doing the right thing. So I'm very, very connected with her, because that's where she is in her life, and I'm a good person deep down, so I always want to do the right thing. So I really connect with her very easily. Like, it's very easy because it's written so well. It just flows out.
All right. Thank you so much, Jemma. Olaf, how'd you like to sing for us right now?
Oh, you want to sing a song?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got a
Sure.
song for us?